Just a few little pickups for this week from CEX and car boot sales. Alright everyone, hope you are good. Thank you for pressing play once again. I am the man they call Pixel Paul, and I've got some new games. New games to show you. Nothing fancy, nothing flash, just new games. So let's get into it. I'm going to try and keep this one relatively brief. There's not loads of games here. We're looking at CEX stuff and car boot sale stuff, just about. So let's just get straight into it. So I've been on a little bit of a budget this month. I'm trying to be good. I've got some big hefty bills to pay coming up soon. All perfectly fine, nothing dodgy or anything like that. Just, typical run-of-the-mill life bills. But yeah, they all need paying. Plus we've got a holiday coming up. So I'm trying to be good this month. But you know me, I am weak. But I am well budgeted too. So these are all within kind of budget. Mostly. So let's get into it. CEX was the first one. This was a couple of weeks ago, actually. And it was a little bit impulse, perhaps. I've wanted this one for a while, but just never really seen a copy of it around at the right time. And I think we'd been to Warrington up north in sort of not too far from where I live now. And yeah, they had this copy there. I'd not bought anything else, and I thought, well, I'm going to grab this now finally. And that game is Castle of Illusion on the Sega Mega Drive. Absolute classic 2D platform game, this one. I paid £10 for it. £10 is the non-manual price because there's no manual. But other than that, decent condition, everything's fine. I've been playing it and it runs nicely. It's a little bit tatty, possibly. A little bit tatty there, but for a tenner, I don't mind paying that. I think the manual price is about 18. So it's quite a big jump. So I'm not bothered about £8 for a manual, really. I do think possibly the front is a little bit sun damaged, only just a little bit faded perhaps. But yeah, happy with that one. So yet another Sega Mega Drive game to go into the collection. I've had a slight rejig of the games room. You can't really tell possibly that well from what you can see behind me, but I have, and it's kind of enabled me to give a little bit more room for Mega Drive stuff. So I've got space for this and one other. So yeah, Castle of Illusion. Then still on CEX. These were just cheapy kind of pickups, really. 3 of them three games that I've not played actually. So cheap but worthy additions, he says. Fantastic Four on the Xbox. I know this game is not supposed to be that great, but for £1, I thought let's grab that. There's a new Fantastic Four movie coming out soon. I did buy Xbox 360 Rise of the Silver Surfer a couple of weeks ago, possibly with the same thing in mind. The movie's coming out, people will be talking about Fantastic Four. These might come a little bit more scarce, perhaps. Probably not really, but yeah, I've never played it, never tried it. And I said before when I bought Rise of the Silver Surfer, I quite like these original Fantastic Four films. I think they're alright. They're just good, fun kids' films in a way. So, yeah, Fantastic Four on the Xbox. It looks very cheap for a movie tie-in. But yeah, it's for £1. I'll give that a go. I also got for the Xbox, I don't know if I'm assuming you pronounce it Genma. It could be Genma, I'm not sure. Genma Onimusha. £2.50 paid for that one. I've got a couple of Onimusha games, but never really gotten around to playing any of them. So yeah, for £2.50 I thought let's pick that one up as well. See what it's like. It's supposed to be okay. I'm assuming this is just like the Xbox version of the first Onimusha game, which you can get on PlayStation 2 as well. So yeah, £2.50 paid for that one. And then this one. So this one, I think it was on someone on Instagram possibly mentioned this and said it's a very, very cheap game. You expect it to be rubbish, but it's actually supposed to be quite okay. It's not a classic, it's not epic, it's not an epic game or anything like that. But yeah, a couple of people have sort of said it's actually not that bad once you give it a go. So I thought, for £1 again, Minority Report, Everybody Runs. For £1, I thought, I'm going to give it a go myself and see what I think of it as well. And you never know. PS2 is full of these little games that you think are going to be rubbish, But you know, you pay £1 for it and you actually think, well, do you know what? I've got a couple of hours, an hour worth of play out of it. So maybe it's worth it. Very nice condition, actually, that one. Very nice and complete in that. But yeah, Minority Report, everybody runs. Couldn't tell you what kind of game it is. Assuming like a bit of a third-person actioner kind of game. Non-stop cinematic action and adventure with futuristic weapons, devices straight out of the movie. All that jazz, probably. Minus Tom Cruise, obviously, thankfully. So, yeah, give that a go. See what it's like. Cheers, everybody. Right, I'm going to flip over now to the car boot sales. Car boot sales this weekend were a bit hit and miss. No, actually, they were pretty much miss. I did take a little bit of footage. It's mainly me talking. I didn't get a lot of the actual boot sales themselves. I'll put it in. Enjoy. Or skip. It's entirely up to you. It's a very early Sunday morning and we're off to the car boot sale once again. Weather's absolutely beautiful and it's been so warm the last few days. So I'm expecting this car boot sale to be quite a big one. I'm expecting there's going to be quite a few sellers, a lot of buyers. It's just going to be a busy one. So we'll see. We'll see what we can find this time around. Let's go. They said it was going to be a big car boot sale today, and they're not wrong. There were loads of people here. So that's that car boot sale done. It was absolutely heaving, so I didn't get any footage. It was too hot, too busy. I'm going to go and try another little car boot sale now and see if I can find anything there. I don't usually do very well there, but go and have a look. So I'm in Hindley now, and I've been to this car boot sale a couple of times and it's always been rubbish. But I saw it on Facebook before and it looks like it's quite busy today, and it is actually. So let's go and have a look, see what we can find here. So yeah, that wasn't very good again. Wasn't expecting it to be honest. It's never that great here. I've not took any footage again. So as far as car boot sale videos go, this is probably the worst one you will ever watch because I've not taken any footage of either of the car boot sales today. I've come away with a couple of things, mainly from Bolton. Yeah, that was a bit disappointing. Well, anyway, I'll show you what I picked up today and over the last week or two in the games room. Yeah, so that was pretty much me just going to and from 2 car boot sales. I didn't take any footage of the actual car boots themselves because, well, for 2 very different reasons. The first one, the bigger one, which I usually go to, was absolutely packed. It was so warm as well. It was absolutely packed. So it was one of those where you just, even if I'd been recording, which I didn't feel comfortable doing with everybody around, even if you were recording, you'd just be looking at people's backs really. And to be fair, there wasn't a huge amount there either. And then the second car boot sale, completely opposite. It was totally empty apart from almost me and the sellers. So it would have looked a bit weird with just me wandering around this car boot sale, filming things, but not actually looking or buying things, because it was more of a traditional sort of car boot sale in a way, not like a market or anything like that. It was more sort of a traditional car boot sale, but very much possibly for older people, perhaps. Yeah, I looked a little bit out of place there, but absolutely no games whatsoever. But from the first car boot, I did pick up a couple of things. And to be honest, I've done all right with these. These aren't bad buys. So I got on PlayStation a copy of Driver. I paid, where is it? £4 for that, if you can just see that. £4 paid for that. CEX at the moment. I was a bit surprised actually. CEX sells for £8 at the moment. I thought this was a £3 or £4 game, but it's not. It's £8 at the moment. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I think Driver 2 might even be a bit more than that. But yeah, £4 paid for that. Excellent condition. We have a really decent box as well, which is always a bonus. Nice and complete. We've got a manual, and we have a very nice looking disc as well. So yeah, £4 for that. I've played Driver before, he says. I've played, all right, I've tried to play the opening. It's almost like a tutorial, isn't it? Where you have to drive that car around the car park. I've heard other people say this, so I don't feel too bad about myself. But yeah, I've never got past that tutorial. So maybe now is the time to beat Driver. I'm going to get past that bloody car park, give it a go anyway. So yeah, quite happy with that. £4 paid for that, £8 in CEX. It's not a bad pickup, that one. And then this one again, this isn't a bad pickup either. Mostly. So I got Viva Pinata on the Xbox 360, and this is that really weird, awkward to shelve special edition version of it. Now, these aren't particularly rare or anything like that, but it is relatively rare to find it in good condition. Now, usually, because it's a plastic box with a plastic sleeve. I rarely see this sleeve for this game. Not torn, not snapped, not smashed up. This one in this condition is a really nice little bonus, actually. I should say, paid. Can you see that? £3 for that. It's a bit blurry, maybe, but yeah, paid £3 for that. And yeah, this bit as well. This bit always seems to be, bits missing off it, snapped. But yeah, it's pristine condition, as you can see. It's a unique edition of this game, I guess. You don't see many other games that come in boxes like this, so it is quite a nice one. Let's open it up because you'll see. So we've got a Xbox Live card. We've got, I don't know what that, health and safety manual, isn't it? Nicely. Also, we've got the bonus disc as well there, and that's never been opened. That is still sealed. So that's a bonus disc with. Looks like Lego Star Wars 2 Original Trilogy and something Xbox Live Arcade. I'm not sure what else is on that, but I'll probably keep that like that though, keep it sealed. And then you've also got instruction booklet, as is. And then you do have this nice little case for the game itself. Unfortunately, it's not quite complete because the game came with Viva Pinata Trouble in Paradise. So the wrong disc. Oh well. I've got an original copy of Viva Pinata, so I'm just going to swap the discs and put that one into this. So it's no great shakes really. But yeah, just nice to get that one. £3 paid for it. Really, really great condition and sort of complete. For £3, and CEX at the moment sell that limited edition one. £6 they sell that for at the moment, so got it for half price really. So yeah, I was quite kind of happy with that one. Let's say just it's one of those you just don't see in nice condition that often. I can't actually close the box now. It's because I've packed it the wrong way, but I'm just going to put it over there. Whoops. So yeah, happy with that one. Viva Pinata, decent game as well. Can't say I've ever spent hours and hours on it or anything like that, but it's fun enough. So yeah, Viva Pinata. Right, the last thing from the car boot sale. I also picked this up. And it is a Mega Drive controller, 6-button Mega Drive controller with those kind of rapid fire switches on it as well. And there's a little button on the shoulder there. What makes it Competition Pro? We'll see. Competition Pro Series 3. So, yeah, really nice condition for that. £2.50 I paid for that. There's a couple of scratches on the back, a couple of marks, but nothing too bad. Off and slow. There's like a slow-mo button on the back there as well. Don't know if you can see that. Not sure what that would do. But yeah, £2.50 paid for that. I've been after a 6-button Mega Drive pad for a couple of months now. Since I've been picking up a lot more and more Mega Drive games, it's become sort of pretty apparent that, for some games, the standard 3-button controller just doesn't cut it. Especially for like beat 'em ups and some of the other games as well, some of the newer games anyway. So yeah, quite happy to pick that one up. £2.50. I've not tried it yet. It does sound like it's all the buttons seem spongy enough, and there's nothing clicking or anything like that. But I'll give it a go, and if it's for £2.50, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But it looks relatively well looked after, and the guy that was selling this had quite a few other controllers as well, and he had some really nice yellow N64 controllers, legit ones as well, not knockoff ones. He did have a couple that were obviously fakes, not fakes, but like cheap copies. But these were like official yellow controllers, and I think he wanted £30 for it, which, yeah, I didn't have that kind of money to spend. Speaking of which, he actually had a PSP 3000 as well, a blue one, really nice blue one. Again, I'm on the hunt for a PSP at the moment, and it did look very nice. Didn't have any box, didn't have any cables by the looks of it, but it looked in great condition. The UMD tray at the back seemed, sprung open very confidently. So it just didn't power up, so it's not been charged, but yeah, it looked in decent nick. I think he wanted 80 quid for it, which isn't bad. I think they go for about 84, 85 possibly in CEX at the moment. But yeah, I just didn't have that kind of money to spend. Otherwise, I might have been. Well, I'm always a little bit wary of buying stuff like that at that price at a car boot sale. I think I'd rather buy it, say, at a CEX or Cash Converters or wherever. At least you've got the option to go back and, if it doesn't work, you can take it back. Car boot sales, it's a bit of a once and done kind of thing. And I'm not that brave, not with that kind of money anyway. So, but yeah, £2.50, I'll take a punt on that all day long. But 80 quid, bit too much really. Right, so speaking of the Mega Drive 6-button pad, that has arrived just in time because I also bought from CEX, so we're back to CEX now. I picked up a copy of Mortal Kombat. I nearly shouted Mortal Kombat how you're supposed to say Mortal Kombat, but I will resist the urge to do that. Yeah, Mortal Kombat on the Mega Drive. I haven't got any of the original Mortal Kombat games. I've always been a Street Fighter person. You know that. I prefer Street Fighter to any other beat 'em up fighting game, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I've not had Mortal Kombat, any of the sort of 16-bit versions of it. So I thought, why not start with the Mega Drive combat game? Yeah, what did I pay for it? It's not marked on the front. They hadn't put a sticker on it. I paid £12 for that. Nice condition again. That's without manual again, which again I'm not that bothered about. If it means I pay less, it means I pay less. So yeah, £12 paid for that. But yeah, nice condition though. Very nice condition. Decent box. Closes, which is always a bonus. And the cartridge is very nice and shiny looking too. So yeah, happy with that. Mortal Kombat. I know it's not the greatest Mortal Kombat game. It's not the greatest fighting game ever, but there's a bit of a nostalgia to it, isn't it? And I suppose if you're going to get any version of it, you get the Mega Drive version probably over the Snes version, don't you? So I believe. So yeah, Mortal Kombat with my 6-button controller, good to go now. Good to go. So happy with that one. Now, the game that I got a little bit lucky with, this one. So it's Saturday morning. Picture this. Wake up in the morning, nothing to do. We've got nothing planned. And I sort of think to myself, do you know what? I'm just going to nip to my local CEX, or one of my local CEX stores. So it happens, I didn't get out of bed. We just stayed in bed. We just had a lazy morning. And I didn't go to CEX in the morning. Go through the rest of the day, do all the usual family stuff, the big shop and all that thing. And then got to about, I think, 3:30, 4 o'clock. And I thought, I'm going to go to CEX now. I'm going to go and have a quick look. So I did. And thankfully, I did go later on because they had some absolutely amazing, immaculate Super Nintendo games, fully boxed and complete. And they'd only just come in, and I'm sure the lad had said it was like an hour or two ago, but certainly that day or that afternoon, someone had come in, traded a load of SNES games. I think there was some other stuff as well, some like Mega Drive games, because they seem to have quite a lot of retro stuff not priced up, like that Mortal Kombat game. So they'd not even priced them up. But yeah, they had some real cracking games, and I didn't take a picture of them because, so where the glass cabinet is in this CEX is right next to the sort of till or the counter, and it happens in quite a few of the stores in CEX where you will have people kind of working behind where the glass cabinet is, they're testing stuff and things like that. So there was a guy testing kind of right in front of me. So I didn't feel comfortable taking a photo of the games, which is a bit sad really, because there were some cracking ones there and I would have loved to have shown you. What they did have though was, that I can remember, so there was a copy of Mortal Kombat 2. These are all Super Nintendo. Mortal Kombat 2. The only one that wasn't in great condition was Doom on the SNES. It was slightly squashed and you could just see the condition of it. It wasn't great. They had an Alien 3, Pilot Wings, Chess Master, that's a pretty rare game for the SNES. And I'm sure it's about 65 quid, something like that. There was another game which I can't remember, but then they also had right at the bottom of the pile, was Illusion of Time, the RPG, and I'm sure that's about 100 plus game, I think. But again, all of them really in good condition apart from Doom. And they also had this game, which I picked up. So this was the one that sort of jumped out, because a lot of those I'd already got or already played. Chessmaster I knew was going to be too expensive, and I knew Illusion of Time was going to be too expensive for me. But because I couldn't see what the prices were for them, I knew that those two were out of my budget. But yeah, this one I'd not had before, I've not played before, but I know that it's pretty good. But I wasn't sure on the price, so I was looking on the app, and when the price came up, I was a little bit, is it really? I thought it was going to be more than this. So yeah, I went to the counter, pointed out which one I wanted. And again, the lad who sort of mentioned about the games only having come in that afternoon, he sort of, as he was pulling it out, or the girl was pulling it out, so he sort of said, some of them are expensive. That's an expensive one. So I was thinking, well, I've just looked on the app and it's not expensive. Not at your price anyway. So I think he was a bit surprised at how much they were selling it for, and I was surprised at how much they were selling it for. Anyway, let's get on to what the game is. Syndicate on the Super Nintendo, and I've paid £22 for that, and it is in pretty good condition as well. So I'm going to do a little circle of the box, because that's what people do with Nintendo cardboard. Here's a bit of a close-up. Is it upside down? No, it's upside down now. So there's a little bit of wear and tear, like at the bottom there, a little bit of wear and tear on the sides perhaps, but in general this is in really nice condition. And like I said, I've not played this one before, but I knew it was a good game because it reviewed really well back in the day, and I've just heard other people talk about it. So yeah, this was the one I wanted. This is the one I grabbed, and yeah, £22 I paid for that in that condition as well. I was just really surprised at how cheap. And then I was looking on eBay, and I know prices on eBay are pretty wild. They can be, really exaggerated and never sell. But in general, yeah, eBay, there was sort of range between, I think there was one maybe for $39.99, but in nowhere near this sort of condition. There was another couple maybe around the 70 mark, which were in better condition, but again, probably not as in good condition as that. So I think £22 for this is an absolute bargain. I really do. And I was absolutely over the moon to get this. Let's have a quick look inside. So yeah, like I said, £22 is the complete price. Without a manual, it's £15. So to be honest, if you can find a decent copy of it and it's not got the manual, I think even at that price, at £15, that's a bargain. The manual's in really good condition, apart from just a slight sort of crease there. And then there's the cartridge. Clean as. Really clean, actually. Nice and grey as it should be. And yeah, I was playing it a little bit before, and it's good. It's a good game. It is a good game. It's a bit of a sort of cyberpunk or Blade Runner type isometric shooter, kind of. There's an element of like maybe a bit of sort of tactical elements to it as well, perhaps. But it's really good. I've just really enjoyed the quick playthrough that I had of it. You can like customize your characters, give them different weapons, and yeah, it's got a really weird kind of futuristic, odd kind of soundtrack to it as well. But yeah, Syndicate on the Snes. Couldn't believe that was there in this condition as well. So I was just absolutely buzzing to get this, I must admit. It really made my day, and I did then sort of think, oh gosh, maybe I shouldn't have spent £22 on it, because you're supposed to be trying to save money a little bit, but I couldn't resist. I could not have left this one behind. I would have regretted leaving this one behind. So I'm really happy to have picked this one up. So those were the pickups for this week. Not sure what the runtime for this video is. I've got a feeling it's not going to be short and sweet like I was hoping. Just so you can see as well, £22 for that Syndicate there, because I know the price wasn't on the box. But yeah, just to be transparent and make sure people do believe me, £22 paid for that. I think it's an absolute bargain. That I dread to think how much that would be at a gaming market or even some of the retro stores. So yeah, really happy with that. Yeah, I'm pleasantly pleased with all the other pickups as well. So I hope you enjoyed that little pickups video. Have you played any of these games, or any of these games not worthy of picking up? Possibly that Fantastic Four game. Have you played Syndicate? What did you think of it? Have you played it back in the day? What did you think of it then? I really enjoyed it so far, what I've played of it. So yeah, really happy with these, and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will always try to reply. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.